Good afternoon, you beautiful souls. How are you doing? Well, it's been a while for me because I was too busy clearing out some and activate some crop circles here in Glastonbury. We had the Lion Gate that was amazingly great. We had the I had to travel for 2 days to the Netherlands. And when I came back, there was this energy shift that was so big, that was unbelievable. The Lion Gate energy was pushing us forward to release our old stuff, our old beliefs, our old programs, our old systems. We are getting ready for 2020. Wow, and what a year that will be. Because time will speed up, activities will be changing very quickly. We're cutting off karmic cycles, we're cutting off contracts, we're cutting off everything that not longer serve us. We're cutting off people that just come in to get and to take from you. Um, we cutting out fake friends. We cutting out everything what no longer serves you for your highest good. And it's really cutting and going to next level. And that's it. Because if we don't go with this higher frequency and higher flow, we're getting drawn in a circle, in a spiral downwards, and we don't want that. We don't want to get stuck in everything. So we're cutting out a lot of energies, and that's is not of our doing. That's the guidance of the higher energy of source. They show you who are the people behind the face, um, and they show us also who are the people behind the sickness. So everything when you do in love and compassion for someone, you will get it in return. If it's just the people who wants to get and wants to take, you can leave that behind because it's an old control system, it's an old programming, it's an old system, and we're leaving that system behind. So, a lot of things happening, a lot of breakups, a lot of um, um, views of moving forward, and you feel it in your system when you go to an old program, you feel stuck and you feel hold back, and when you get out of that and you get back in the flow, you will see that everything will fly forwards for you. It's almost like fast forwards, double speed, you know. So we have to get rid of our low frequency environment, and that's what is going on at the moment. There's a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure, a lot of high vibrational energy of the sun that comes in, and it warms our hearth, it warms the joy, it warms our views, and it warms our views, and the strength of the sun burns through everything what's fake. So let's see what's in the masculine's mind space. Um, the Lemurian shaman. Let's get, the cards are a little bit stuck. The Lemurian shaman. Oh, I see I don't have my pillar of light here. It's in my grid, so I have to do it next to Maria Magdalena. I hope, no, well, I will hold it for you because otherwise You won't see it. Um, the Lemurian shaman. His shadow is dissolving in a gaze of truth. He will see the truth. He will see the truth of his own doing. He is seeing the truth, what he did to his divine feminine. He is releasing fear, and he's getting his initiations. And sometimes when you feel resistance in your body, you know something is not good for you, even if they try to convince you otherwise. You feel the resistance in your body. Um, and I have the feeling that he is seeing now what he did to his divine feminine. He is seeing all the cons he did. He is seeing all the tricks, all the manipulation, all the hurt he caused her, and that it wasn't worth it. So he is getting um, the truth of the universe. He is getting the truth of the universe. And I feel it's judgment day for the divine masculine, because they're still stuck in control issues. They want to control. And it's the abuser and the savior energy. You know, first they abuse you, and then they come running in to save you. And that's going on for quite some time now. And it's an energy, so don't take it personal as a divine masculine. Um, so it's the energy of abuse, but also want to save, and that's bringing in conflicts of who you are. And the universe will show you who you are, what you did, how you control other people, how you manipulate other people, how you sabotaged other people, how you sabotaged yourself with it, and get yourself out of love. You know, get yourself on an ice cold block of ice in the middle of the ocean. That's how they start to show the divine masculine, that he is drifting on an old um, on an ice plate of ice, drifting in the ocean. That's how they show me. And he is drifting and drifting and drifting apart, and further from love, further from himself, if he doesn't stop, act, and take responsibilities for their deeds. So he's also being, they show him this because he has to see the truth of his own actions. He has to see the truth of what he's doing. And it's also the universe is showing him and letting him feel that there is another side on this. If he turns to come into the Lemurian shaman and see things and feel things from his heart space, things will shift and things will flow. Um, I feel also that there is a lot of guilt with the divine masculine, because now all his um, plans are dissolving and coming to the light um, with the divine feminine, because the divine feminine sees it and warned them, and now it's all coming to fruition, and he's just, you know, sitting there and floating in the ocean, not know which direction and what he needs to build. And that's good for him, because then when he is by himself, He can't be influenced by anything else. He will feel the cold, he will feel the hurt, he will feel the fear, but he will go beyond that fear because it's an initiation. How negative this also sounds. It's also a positive side, and that's the initiation of being able to change your ways, being able to come back to the light, and that's what's going on. Um, what's in his divine masculine's heart space? Flow. Release the control, divine will, and oceanic consciousness. Oh my goodness. So, release all control. He needs to release the control of any outcome. He needs to control over the female aspect that's getting stronger and stronger, because the female, the divine feminine, gets stronger and stronger. And he needs to release control and the divine will. He has to go to the oceanic consciousness in the flow of life. Sometimes it's rough and you have to bounce on your island, and sometimes you have to, dive deep into the warm waters and to replenish and to recleanse yourself. So that's what he needs to do in his heart space. So go with that flow. Let your heart flow and speak. And not do it out of guilt or attachment or whatever. It must be genuine, because the divine feminine will feel if it's not genuine. How does he sees the divine feminine? She's in her sovereignty. She has the right to choose. She is immune to hooks. Wow. This is exactly where a lot of the divine feminine's going through. Hooks of attachments are released. Hooks of guilt, and shame are released in her system. So it's very difficult to blame her, or it's very difficult to shove things in her lap that's not hers. So all your projections will bounce back to you because she's not taking it on anymore. The divine feminine is not taking any crap. She is the dragon rider. She knows how to fly the dragon. She knows how to go in the depth, in the highs, in the lows, and she's seen it all. She's seen it all. So there is no way you can guilt trip or put your remorse or your feelings, or you want information from her, because I see a lot of masculine energies that's taking advance of the feminine energies, because they think, oh, they're so nice and cute. Yeah, of course, the divine feminine is nice and cute, but she also can be firm and really strict. And if she is in that energy, and she is in that Leo energy at the moment, that a lot of female will feel empowered by the energy of the sun and the energy of Leo, you can tell no crap to her. Her eyes opened, her third eyes is very wide open. All her veils are lifted, because she came to a higher realization that there is no one who can take her power away unless she gives her power away. And she's not doing that anymore. So that's how he sees the divine feminine, that she has a right to choose everything. And I feel there's also a lot of uh, I don't know if it's jealousy. I feel spirits gives me this emotion of jealousy from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, because she is doing good without him, and she is strong, and and she is glowing, and that gives him, you know, I feel it controversial. I feel it's really like um, a crunchy, itchy, cramping feeling in his energy. So beware, ladies, that you don't give your information away. It's about codes. It's about information. It's about things they can use for themselves. So don't go there. It's they have to do it on their own, you know? They have to do it on their own. You're not their mothers. You're not their mothers. That's what they say. That's what they what spirit tells me. You are not their mothers. And they're looking for a mother energy because they're attached to the mother energy, because the inner child is not healed. And they're looking again for a mother and a mother and a mother. If you find a divine masculine who is on his own, dealt with all his healing work, and then comes to you and sees all these connections, wow, that's mind blowing, because they know you're on the same frequency. Okay. And the overall card is forgiveness. See the bigger picture and trust and heal. And that's for the divine feminine. Every time when the divine masculine hurts you and hurt you and hurt you, you need to forgive them. Because when you see the bigger picture and you trust yourself and you heal from it, you become even more powerful, more stronger. Because your energy is, you know, I always say, give me as much lessons as I can receive. And I will forgive the other person. I will forgive myself. I will heal. I will cleanse. And I will be stronger than ever before. But it's a soft power. It's a softness. But it's also very firm in your energy. They feel it in your energy when you cut them off, or there is no communication or whatever. They know what they did to you and that you need the space to heal. And there is no way for them to know if you ever will forgive them again. Because you don't have to forgive them. You have to forgive yourself for let it come that far and not setting any boundaries, not taking care of you. And that's what's going on at the moment. So we need to forgive ourselves. We don't have to forgive them, you know. We forgive ourselves for letting it come so far. And we just can look at them with other eyes because we see the bigger picture afterwards. What's in the mind space of the divine feminine? Essences and energies. Attuned to subtle energies, balance, and frequency holders. You know, beautiful, beautiful girls, that we all have this frequency of eternal light to hold. We holding the energies. We holding the frequencies to a higher dimension. And it doesn't mean that the divine masculine can't hold that space. But a lot of the divine masculines aren't there yet. And the divine masculines who are at that space, you know, um, they are shown to the divine, and the divine will show them what the path is to walk, because they walk one path that is only giving them limitations, blocks, losing things. And when you're in the flow and you're connected with the higher energies and frequencies, everything speeds up. It's like I said, fast forward movement, and it's really fast, because the one at the other, the other at the other at the other, it's all flowing in synchronicity when you're in the high vibration frequencies. Um, and then we hold that space. We hold that space for each other. We hold that space for other people. And sometimes you see what's happened, you give your boundaries, but it doesn't mean that you can't be friendly, you know? So it's about giving your, not giving everything away. I got a healing about 3 weeks ago, and it was all about the codes, all the codes we receive. We are so strong in receiving special codes, and divine masculine is not the receiver, he's the giver. And we receiving the codes and we holding the codes, and they want those codes, and only we can give them those codes if there is equality, and if there's love. If they put you down in every sense of the word, or they go into competition with you, it's not from the heart. You know, it's a control system that took over at that moment, that wants to give you the feeling that you're not worth it. Or, but that's the feeling they want you to give. But if you take it on like you're not worthy of it, then it's your own block. Then it's your own block. So be sure that if you receive codes, and you share these codes with the right people, share the codes with the right people, because no one that you will feel it. Your gut knows, your higher selves knows, your guides tell you, you know. And some of them, they take you as a fool, but they will find out who the fool is, you know. When you set your boundaries and the universe show them how deceiving they are in some ways, then creation, here for the heart space, for the divine feminine, creation, expression, flow of creation, joyfulness, and express yourself. You know, express yourself. If you don't want someone to know your codes, don't give them the codes. If it doesn't feel safe, if it's just for their own gain, there is enough for everyone. There is enough for everyone. But you need to know who you share your codes with. Because there are people on a high frequency you can share your codes with, who you can share, and where you feel safe, where you feel the safety. If you feel safe within yourself, you know, you can walk everywhere. But you don't You're not obligated to give them the codes that you carry. So there's a lot of things going on in divine creation in the heart space of the divine feminine, and your unique expression, and the flow of creation and joyfulness. You see through the bullshit of the flattery of um, of oh, how do I have to tell this? Well, they show me some directions at the moment, um, and it has to do. Don't take no flattery. Don't take no. Um, um, don't take don't take no flattery, because it's a form of manipulation to get what they want, to serve their highest good, not your highest good. So be aware of that. That's what spirits tells me. So they show me a template to walk, and what's happening with certain individuals in the space around you. So you know, let's see what's going on. How she sees the divine masculine. The Lemurian guide. Your sister, your friend, is a teacher of the infinity and universal love. And that means the universal love for yourself. Bam. Your sister, your brother, is a teacher of the infinity, of universal love. So when you have the love for yourself, you can set boundaries. You can say, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, you have your space, I have my space. I don't want my space to get invaded. And sometimes you don't have to sugarcoat everything, because if you sugarcoat everything, and sometimes, you know, it's time to protect yourself, and sometimes it's okay to open up and to let it flow. But they feel in your energy that something changed, that something is really poo out of line. And if they want to be in an attachment situation, if they want to in a situation um, of flow, you know, and it's almost like, how can I say it? Uh, yeah, when a child gets hurt, when they take away their toy and you give them another toy, you know, they will play with the other toy. But in their back mind, that other toy that is taken away from them is still rotting on the back side of their mind, because the original toy they want to have that, because they had an emotional attachment with the toy, or with everything else. And that's how the divine feminine sees the divine masculine. So when they have another toy, it's perfectly fine. If your divine masculine um, in a third party, you know, it's they just have a new toy, because masculines have have a sexual need that every four, maybe maybe if it's really a stud, he needs every week to get rid of his seeds. But if it's a divine masculine and he can control himself, he can go without for 4, 5, 6 weeks, but then he really needs to release it. and then he's going to another toy. So if you see it like that, it's maybe easier for the divine feminine to cope with the deceit, because they still want the first toy. They still wants the teddy bear that they're attached to, that somebody else took away from them. They still want that teddy bear. They still want that piece of toy, because there was an emotional attachment to it. Now, a lot of divine feminine, if you see it that way, that they go to someone else because they have urges and they have needs. And but don't get and that's a way of growing. You will grow into it and you will learn it, because you will learn the detachment mode. Um, you will learn the detachment mode, because it's yes, they're looking for comfort, they're looking for harmony, they want to have come in a clean house, like the puppet house of the feminine. It's all clean, it's all taken care of, and it's nice to rest and then go to their own place, get rid of the energy and go back to their own place. So if you know that this the cycle of the divine masculine, and the neediness of someone um, to be close to, but there's no attachment. There's no attachment. I don't say in all cases. In some cases, there's no attachment. You know, but you will see the truth behind all the lies. They show the universe. If you stay pure of heart, if you stay pure in your energy, um, then the universe will work for you. The more you sabotage someone else, the more you find restriction in your life. Yeah. So what will support him? Divine cosmic mother womb. Oh my goodness. If you are loved and you are safe, then you can rest and sleep well. So that is the feeling of the mother womb. So they need the divine feminine to love them and to feel safe, so they can rest and sleep well. All divine masculines are feeling safe. I feel in this time, for a lot of masculine, there's anxiety, there's fear, there's confusion, there is chaos, and they're convincing themselves to be better off in another situation. And that's perfectly fine, because then they belong there for that moment. It doesn't mean that they will stay there, unless the divine feminine wants to have a child. It's really up to that. They need the security that they can walk in and can walk out, and the divine feminine is she cut loose all cords, all restrictions, everything that withhold her for a next level up. She cut the cords with that. So they go two separate ways, and that's totally fine. I see that the divine masculine sees how much healing the divine feminine needs now. She is withdrawing because she needs healing, because of all the things he did before. He caused her a whole lot of pain. He caused them a lot of mistrust. and that will make sure that there will come a transformation out of it. And now, because of the guilt they feel, because the divine feminine cuts them off, they feel remorse, they feel shame, and they want to come in with gentle love. And what I feel, she doesn't need any healing from the divine masculine anymore, because she knows how to heal herself, how to come up in the strength of her sisters, how to be nourished. She can nourish herself. She goes in the higher frequency of joy. She goes to the sun. She goes to the universal coach. She is applying every tool that she learned to work with in former years, or all the things she did for herself, as courses, as workshops, as whatever, to make herself grow, will make herself stronger. And there is no one who can take away her energy anymore. I feel if I channel the energy of the divine feminine in this pure bliss and pure joy state of mind, and then going back to a lower frequency, the choice of the divine feminine is easy made. And it will be an easy road. I will secure you. It will be an easy road. Because this kind of woman who is so strong, they don't want the child anymore. They don't want this page energy. They want this king energy who can provide for her, who can work with her, who can stand with her, who can go through everything with her. And not just a runaway puppy that is fearful and don't know where to go, in which direction, and then go back to the old nest because it feels familiar. It's different than the cat energy. The cat jumps out of the nest, starts to play, starts to run, starts to looking in his environment, is curious. There's no fear. So with a puppy dog, it's totally different. You have to train a puppy dog, but you don't want a trained puppy dog. You want a divine masculine next to you. So there's a lot of shifts in the divine masculine energy that will push them to be more independent, to be pushed more. And I don't mean selfish, because a lot of the divine masculine are selfish because they see themselves at the center of the world. And they're not the center of the world. They're just, without the divine feminine, there's no creation. Without the masculine, there is no seed. But there is something different. The divine feminine can create on her own. Divine masculine isn't able to create as much as if he doesn't have the energy of the divine feminine. So we have to be careful who we give our temples to, who we give our energy to. And there we need to get our boundaries straight. So, wow. So he is seeing that the divine feminine is healing, that she is withdrawing, and that she's needing healing from the stuff he did to her again and again and again. It's just the normal cycle of the divine masculine needing another tool or needing another toy. It's in their system. It's in their system. It's from ancient generations. It's the father line that cheated. It's the grandfather line that cheated. It's the grandfather line that cheated. If it wasn't in the war, it was not being firm, not being honest, not being putting any boundaries because they want to, um, how do you say it? Ah, okay. It also has to do with their back. The back. They show me the backbone of the divine masculine is not strong enough to handle lower energies of abuse. Wow, that's you see, that's a totally different insight I get now. It's they have not they don't have the backbone from the abuse as a child because they get beaten down or shouted down or whatever, and there is in their spinal cord something happens. Um, wow, that's why the real the insecure masculine overcompensate their posture to make themselves bigger than they are. Um, wow, what a things they give me. Because of the abuse, they feel small. They feel very small, and they need to nurture and they need the warmth of the divine feminine. And when you have a strong divine feminine, um, then they're getting weak in their backbone. They don't feel as masculine. They only feel masculine when they have a sexual interaction. That's why it's so easy that divine masculine gets addicted to sex, who has sex addictions, because when they are abused, and it could be sexual abuse or mentally abuse or physically abuse, it then they will be then their spirit is crushed, their spirit is broken, and the only thing where they feel masculine is in the bedroom, and that creates the addiction. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That creates the addiction to the divine feminine womb. So, um, if then there is a feminine coming towards them who is also having abused relationship, they have the both same attachments. They have the both same attachments, so they complement each other, but they trigger each other's wounds constantly, constantly be triggered on their fears, on their wow. So if we see the bigger picture of all of this, why they do this, because they follow in their father's footsteps. They have seen how their father abused their mothers and put their mothers down. So that is the only thing they know. So they will put you down, and there will be no change in that. There will be no change in that till they make the switch on their own and heal that inner child. Whew. Wow, this is a big piece of for the divine masculine. If they understand what's going on in their system, then they have to know that everything what the divine feminine tells them, and does to them, is to learn. It's not to punish them, but it's to let them see that there is so much more in them, because the the divine feminine sees the potential of the divine masculine that they don't see on their own. Okay. What is supporting the divine feminine? The depths of love. Let go of fear, jump into love, let go and go beyond attachments. So let's go to the fear. Let go of the fear and jump into love. And let go of beyond attachments. It's the dolphin energy. Wow. Go beyond the attachments. And that's the message for the divine feminine to support her. Last week I had a dream about this huge wave coming over me that want to destroy my emotions, and I transformed myself into a dolphin and jumped out of the water. I could breathe underneath the water and I jumped out of the water. And this is such a confirmation that love will conquer all. It's amor vincit omnia. And I was doing a beautiful ceremony with my sisters in Avebury, and we screamed into the wind, Amor vincit omnia, so they could take the love and the higher vibrations with them to all corners of the place. And we had the support of our ancestors with us. So if you go beyond attachment to what you think and what you feel about some things, because that's all an illusion. What you think, how you think about certain persons, or how you think about certain issues, it's all an illusion. It's the meaning you give to it that makes it real. So if you don't give any meaning to anything, it can exist. It just can exist. But give your boundaries if you feel, because your body, your higher self, and your spirit will show you, and the universe will show you what's real or what is fake. And get rid of all the fake in your life. Get rid of the self-sabotage. Because if somebody else is sabotaging your life, that means that you're sabotaging yourself by going there. So it's not about the other person, it's all within yourself. It's all within yourself. So how she sees the divine masculine, the heart of ascension, that he is expanding, that he will come into love for all, that he will regain his playfulness, and he needs to release the past. His heart ascension, his heart is opening more and more because of not looking back to the past all the time. If you, for example, if there is someone that has a bad memory of the past because they were depressed themselves, and then blaming the other person, because that is what the masculine does. It's always the divine feminine's fault. They don't never ever look by themselves. It's always the outside world they blame, because they don't have the capacity to look inside. I don't say all divine masculine. Don't get me wrong, and don't get me on this, but most of the divine masculines aren't, or masculines. I don't want to even call them divine, because you have divine masculines who are going in huge ascension, but there are also masculines who are not going there and not going into the feelings. And then they blame the past. They blame the wife, they blame the house, they blame the children, and they don't even want to look that they were depressed or had a burnout, or their life is not going the way they want, because they have no insight in themselves. Totally not. They just looking for the outside and the quick satisfaction, because they don't have the insight. And the feminine, and how much the divine masculine is hurting them, or betraying them, or doing whatever they want. They see the ascension of their soul, and they see their capacity to grow, and they see the first things and the first sign of ascension, because they walked that path already um, years before them. It could be 10 years they're on that path. um, and they're still not seeing it. They still blame the outside world. They still blame everything else but themselves. They're not willing to look at themselves. So they're very critical on other people, but they don't see their own flaws. um, what is blocking them, or what is their challenge? Blessings beyond the soul path. Honor all life, exchange of joy without karma or sacrifice. So they don't see it. Here's the confirmation. I don't even need the cards anymore, because spirit is channeling through and through and through all the time. So honor all life, exchange of joy without karma or sacrifice. So if you want to receive the blessing on the soul path, receive. Learn to receive. Learn to receive. Learn to receive. Even if it's um, advice from someone, even if it's love from someone, even if it's um, abundance, sharing the abundance, sharing the love, because a lot of masculines are afraid of love, and they close their heart. If they have an attachment with someone, and they felt really the depth of their love, the joy and the depth of their love, it's hard to get rid of. It's almost like your first love. It's almost like your first love. You will never ever forget your first love, or your first lover, or whatever happens in your life. You will never forget that person, because it was your first effectuation, and first um, um, how do you call it? Yeah, your first love. You never forget your first love. Even if there were many um, friends before, you never forget your first love. They try to, they say. Yeah, they try to. Yeah, of course they try to. Yeah. But it's their right. They have a free will, and they have a right to choose whoever they want. What are they going to do about it? No feels, psychic differences, cosmic inspiration, and light. That's what they're going to do about it. They want the cosmic light. They want to have the abundance. They want to have the joy. They want to have fulfillment in their life. Life is not a struggle. We make it a struggle by interacting with the wrong people. Life is not a struggle. We make it that way. And if we grow into light and into love for ourselves, shadow sides will come up. And it's for you to decide, do you want to live with those shadow sides that comes up and up and up again, or you just choose another path? And I see a lot of divine feminine I see a lot of the divine feminine who are being abused. They still have a fear for men. They can't attach, and they push the men away, and they push the men away. And that's the attraction of the masculine, because then they can hunt again. And that's not what it's all about. It's not about the hunt, it's about the love. And so as the divine feminine is on her healing journey to trust the divine masculine, I don't say do it from the mind, but let spirit guide you to feel if you can trust someone, because your feelings are never deceiving you. If your feelings say, okay, this is the right person, and I can be open with that person, and I can show myself, and it's totally flowing, and it's totally energetically inspiring, and you feel the flow within each other, and you know it explodes. It explodes in different timelines, higher frequencies, higher dimensions, and all the information's coming through, and you activate each other in that. Then you say, okay, I can open myself. If your body is resisting, that means something off with that person. There is a higher guidance within yourself that say something is off. So don't go there. Protect yourself in that and feel to your higher self. Don't go into the energy of I want this guy, and I want him to be like this and this and this. No, because it will never be that guy like this and this, what you expect of it. Because maybe he can't, of his past, of his abuse, of he's not strong enough. A lot of men don't have the resilience as the feminine, because they are so controlling. They want to control everything, that they are more vulnerable for depression, for fear, for anxiety, for all this kind of things. And if they project all that fear and anxiety, and what happened to them on you, you need to get out, and quick. Because when they leave you with all their energetic shit. Oh, sorry, but it came out so fierce. They leave you with their energetic BS, and you're drowning in it. So you need to empower yourself and say, this is not who I am. This is not mine energy. This is the energy of the other person. Yeah? And feel into it. Because when you get triggered, is your stuff. And you have to deal with that stuff. But if it's not yours, then leave it behind. Leave it behind. And look for a sisterhood. Look for friends. Go outside and start climbing up again. Heal yourself. Don't get into alcohol, drugs, or any other stuff, because you can do well without. Yeah, that's it. What's the challenge of the divine feminine? Integration. And here he comes again. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Reunion, let go of defenses and open the door. So that's what I told you. If it feels off, don't open that door. Yeah? Forgive yourself and others that they had that behavior towards you, but you you let them in. You let them in to hurt you. You let it happen to you. And sometimes you don't have any idea what is happening behind your back, because sometimes people steal, or some people try to get stuff. Yeah, they steal stuff from you, or and you find out months later that they steal your stuff. Spirit will always show you. Spirit will always show you, and you don't need that kind of sabotage. But you also need to forgive yourself that you let it happen, because you were the one that was going back and back and back and back again in that relationship. Or to, out of the depths of your love, you want to have harmony or balance for your family, or balancing out everything with your children for the good of all. But it wasn't the good for you. No. And there is a difference. When everything is in balance within yourself, within your family, then you can make the choice to step out. So it's not self-care if you think more about the other person than about yourself. Okay. What is she going to do about it? It's the deep trust in herself. It's a deep healing. It's an initiation and the reconnection with all. And also about rediscovering yourself. What will bring them together, or now what combines them together, is the new man. Enlightened masculine, potential and new earth. They want it both. The divine masculine wants to be that enlightened masculine person with all the potentials that she sees in him. And he wants to create a new world with her. That's what they both want. And he needs to heal that inner child. He's holding his inner child. He needs to hold his inner child. And what brings them together? Opening the heart. Right to love, to be loved, and heart healing. That's where they are now. And that's what will, if they go into a conversation about an open and fair communication from the heart, they will heal each other. There will be a deep, deep heart healing. But I have the feeling that the divine feminine feels that she's not safe with the divine masculine of all the things he did to her. So she needs time out. She needs time for herself to rediscover what she wants. And that's probably not, the treatment, how he treats her. She doesn't deserve it. She really doesn't deserve it. But we need to forgive for ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves that we were so ignorant that we couldn't see. Even we had so many messages from the universe, because we wanted something so bad to be in balance, or so bad of the attachment of our inner child. So now, after this gate, the 8-8 portal, it's done. You for the divine masculine, I'm so sorry, because you got a total new woman in front of you. And this woman is taking no BS anymore from you. So you can try all the tricks in the books, but she will not let herself hooked again. And maybe they're better off with a lower frequency that they can cope with, and that's their journey, and that's their prerogative. They have a free will, and that's maybe a more of a blessing for them. But they know when they're going in that lower frequency, their whole life will be full of distortions. So they want to go up to that light. So one way or another, they have to stand in their own sovereignty as a new man. And I think I leave it with this. Because, there was one more card, all overall card for the Divine Feminine. Focus on the light, right to see, rebalancing illusion, pineapple gland activation, vision of union, of unity. And unity is the unified field from the universal grid and the earth grid where we are living on. Focus on the light. You have the right to see it all, releasing illusions and pineapple activations. So all the veils are lifted. And that's what will happen this upcoming week. You will see some information, you will receive some information about your Divine Masculine that is probably shocking to you. And it will raise you and rise you to a whole different dimension. You go through the stuff you need to go through. You will get healing on it. The divine is with you. You get all the support and the love of friends and family. Cut cords if something no longer serves you. And I hope that it will really empower the women, because the women need to be empowered now, because there is no other way to rise the frequency of the whole human race, because Mother Earth needs us. We are Mother Earth. We give birth to every new idea in this world. We give birth to everyone we love. We give birth and we rise the consciousness of people who we interact with. So we are the creators. The masculine times, it's not over. It needs to come back in balance, and they need to support the Divine Feminine, not just in material ways, but in a loving and compassionate way, without attachments and without sabotaging and control. Well, thank you, Spirit. I rest my case. I wish you all the best for this week. Love and blessings, and see you next week. I have a retreat coming up from the 23rd till the 27th of August. There is the Maria Magdalena retreat in the Netherlands. I still have 3 places left. So if you really want to join this, send me an email, and I will send you all the information about the Maria Magdalena retreat, to come back in your feminine energy, to get healed, to get massages, to get your foot baths, foot massages. We have fire circles. We have clearing our ancestral lines. So let it come to you if it feels right. Send me an email, and I would love to see you and join you in Friesland. We are on the Maria ley line. So if we are really connected to these energies of Maria and Maria Magdalena, and see you.